Hello everybody, this is Joel and John. We are out in our beautiful, completely restored as new 1972 BMW 3.0 CSL. We're going to, we just finished a photo shoot and we're going to head back to the shop, and John is going to take the helm and walk you guys through the car and tell you a bit more about it, and do some nice accelerations on the highway, merge, and all the rest.
Hi everyone, so we have a 72, as Joel mentioned, one of probably about 429 produced in the Series 2 CSLs. This one features many of the things that you'd expect on a CSL, lightened by over 400 pounds with the aluminum hood, aluminum doors, trunk lid, sound deadening removed, electric windows removed, rear window delete. In terms of no power, the rear windows are fixed. Sound deadening, as I mentioned, is gone. We have inside the cabin, we have the really super nicely appointed shell seats, the original BMW leather wrapped steering wheel, 4-speed manual, no radio, so you'll be listening to us the whole way back as we walk you through this car. This car was restored sometime within the last 10 years. We don't have the specific information as to the restoration period, but we will see if we can dig that up. It was in Europe, as obviously no North American deliveries were made with CSLs. So it's a highly, highly unusual car to find in North America. Very coveted, and it's in a fantastic color. The Gulf yellow. Just a beautiful color with the black stripes. Lots of attention in this car. Beautiful shifting car, really solid handling. I have a 72 3.0 CS automatic, and I have to tell you, this is a dream to be able to drive this car and just experience it. It's tight, it's responsive. The fit and finish of everything in the interior is just beyond reproach. Very impressive car, and I think, as you'll see from the photographs that we've taken and the detail that's been provided in the car, it's an incredible example of the Coupe Sport Light that BMW produced to participate in the Touring Car Championships in Europe. The fit and finish on the dash, the door panels, there's actually, literally nothing that brings any question into the completeness of this car and the quality of the restoration that was done on it. Odometer is showing about 92,000 kilometers. Again, we're not able to validate that is the actual kilometers for the car.
We're just stuck in traffic a little bit here, so I think I'm just going to crop the video and stop it here, and we'll restart it just before we get on the highway. So we're just about to get back on the highway, and as you know it, we're sitting right behind our 68 Mira.
Luck goes our way, we'll be able to pass the Mira. So as I was saying at the beginning, this is an incredibly tight car, and it's so exciting to drive one that's been put together to this level of fit and finish. You can hear the engine letting some traffic by here so that we can take her up into fourth gear. Remembering we've got our right hand stock for signaling in 72. Oh, this is fantastic. The fit and finish on this car, as I said, is outstanding. The leather steering wheel feels phenomenal in your hands. The seats really keep you well secure in this, and there's not any pinching like you might find in a Recaro seat. These shell seats are just fantastic. As you can tell from the video, the car is quite quiet, but you can still hear that gorgeous 3-liter displacement. Very responsive. We are in rush hour, so we have to be mindful that we don't have a great area to get a decent run on. The car tracks beautifully, it handles, there's no movement in the steering wheel. The whole front suspension is in excellent shape.
I was talking earlier with a client that's interested in these cars, and what I was saying to him, and I think what Tim experienced when we took it out for a drive the last photo shoot we were on, was that for a 70s car, an early 70s car, when you put it up against other sports cars, certainly this is a bit more of a touring car, but when you put it up against the driving characteristics of something like a Dino or an earlier air-cooled 911, anything from that era in the Italian cars, there's something special about this car. It has a very smooth ride, however you're quite connected. When I first got in it and took my first corner in it, my first on-ramp, I expected, because it was so compliant through the city and over crappy roads, that it might perhaps be, oh nice, I thought it might be a little soft in the corners, and what a pleasant surprise is that it held very tight and very flat through that corner that I took, and that merge, and then the power through the inline 6 and the fuel injected inline 6, and the amount of power that it puts out compared to the car was quite surprising. I remember coming back to John and just saying, what a phenomenal car, this thing drives amazingly, and he just had this smirk on his face and nodded his head and said, I know, because he's the BMW guy.
Well, I think that's why they had so much success in the touring car championships, Joel. They were able to put out a car that could handle for the size in the 3-liter category. They had great success, I believe, winning in 73 and then again in 75 through 79. Obviously, later years you had the Series 3 car with a higher displacement in the Batmobile, but this car is no slouch at all with fuel injection. It drives and feels like a new car. Is really the best way I can put it, with that classic styling, the pillarless coupe styling. It just, again, this is the unicorn for me. This is, the car that I would love to have in the home garage. As much as I hate to see the silver 3.0 CS go, this would gladly take its place. We're hitting some more traffic. I think we have hit rush hour here for the day, or rush moment as we like to call it.
Tell them a little bit about clutch engagement, steering.
Yeah, the clutch is phenomenal in this car. I think that again, when we looked underneath this car and we looked at all the various components on the car, everything is as new. The clutch is phenomenal. The gear shift is phenomenal through it. It's incredibly tight. Great stick shift knob on it as well. As you can see, just as you look through everything, the dials are great. There's no jumping around in any of the dials. As we know with coupes, you'd have only the fresh air vent down here. You've got side windows, which again you need to use if you have a hot day. Getting lots of looks from people here with want to have a look at the car. I love the quarter windows. I love the knob for operation of them compared to a lot of American cars that just had the latch, or even our Gullwing is just a latch. I love the little knob. Things that as we've never been massive in BMW, that is characteristic of some of these older guys, is just the thought process on the door handle. I know this is a very small and minor thing, but it goes to show the thought that was put into design and engineering the cars. Many cars, you have a handle somewhere else on the door card that is going to release your door, and then your door pull is somewhere else on the car, whereas on these cars, it's all in one motion. Slide your hand down into the pull, and there's your door latch release. It's just cool stuff all over the car like that. These seats, if you've never sat in one of these seats, they're funny, a little bit funny to look at, but extremely comfortable, and you don't move anywhere. Lots of padding in the seat. Really cool. Also very cool, the buckets
essentially in the back, and that you're in a really fun, aggressive sports car, but you do have the ability to transport whatever it is you want in the back, whether it's people, family members, or cargo.
I think one of the other things that's always impressed me with these cars, as well as the 2002s, is the visibility. You know, great visibility through all parts of the car.
Yeah, the glass
it's amazing what they've done, and still have an extremely rigid car. Now overall, these cars about 429 pounds lighter, so a little bit of chassis, some of that was achieved all through some chassis lightening in addition to the panels. Incredibly smooth, as you can tell from the shifts. It's just phenomenal. It tracks beautifully. You know, it's an effortless car to drive, but you know that it's got a ton of power behind it. The quality of the drive, the feel. This particular car is riding on the 16-inch Alpinas. Factory specs for it at the time from the factory would have been the 14-inch Alpina wheels, but this has the 16s. Doesn't really change the look of the car. A little taller tire on it. Again, it's a very period correct car.
What was the horsepower rating, do you?
About 206, roughly, with this version, with the 3-liter displacement, and then they were able to move that up again as they moved up to 3.2 liters in the later series cars. So pushing around 220, I believe, at that point, or 222.
I would say this car, to give a little bit of a frame of reference to anybody looking at this and that they've never driven one before, but are interested, is we're out driving our 92 Carrera RS the other day. Its horsepower is in that same ballpark as this car, and you know what? This pulls as well and as fun as that at RS. Of course, a different experience. This isn't as precise, and it's not as much of a weapon, I would say, as the RS. The RS is just, you know, it's a track car for the road and very precise. This is a very aggressive sports car for the era, but as far as the fun and the power and the pull it is really, really cool, and it just puts a smile on your face.
A great road trip car too, Joel. Driven a CS from the West Coast to Minnesota and back. Tons of fun to drive in a CS and an E9 body. You know, great car. Maybe not great on gas, but still, you know, a lot of fun to drive. Wouldn't hesitate taking this car on a long trip of any type, or taking it to any Euro show or any multi-brand show. I think that this is a car that's going to turn heads, draw a lot of attention because of obviously the color, the stripes, the overall stance, no front bumper, you know, light fiberglass back bumper, plastic back bumper. It's truly a unique car.
Let's exit to the left up here. Sorry to interrupt you. We'll go find a good merge lane to take the folks on. Sorry to interrupt you.
Nope, no problem. Just navigating our afternoon traffic here.
I'm just gonna one more time. We normally don't do this, but we normally get out at a better time. I'm just gonna kill the video here as we navigate through some traffic in town, and then I'll restart it at a great little merge lane and on-ramp, and let you guys hear the car and put it through a couple gears, and we'll see you in a minute. All right, we're back.
I'm not going to take out any pedestrians here. Now that's fun. As you can tell, great acceleration, really effortless pull through the car, phenomenal handling. It felt very tight in the corner. No oversteer, understeer, just beautifully balanced car.
Maybe slow down a bit, downshift, and take a pull on the highway.
More road.
Yeah, no doubt. And no traffic. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody. So for any U.S. buyers, we are delivering the car in Blaine, Washington on a Washington state title is what you will receive. Canadian buyers, you will receive a Canadian registration in British Columbia. Same goes for anybody in other parts of the world. If this car was destined to go back to Switzerland or anywhere else in Europe, we can facilitate that as well. Same goes for shipping anywhere globally. We can do that for you. So just ask previous or post the auction ending, and we can do our best to help facilitate for you on your behalf and get it to wherever you're going to go. There are no duties to be paid on the U.S. side of the border. As I said, the car comes to you at the price that you win it for on a Washington state title. If you have any questions and specifics you'd like to know about the car, please reach out. Either Google us and find our phone number, or use the contact seller button, please, on the website, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. We do a lot of work from our phones as we're always on the road and in cars, so we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and we look forward to sending this car to a very good home. I have no doubt you will fall in love with it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.